Hey, what's up, members? I'm going to go through this real quick for you, and this is going to be a plan, prescribe, and close video. Okay, it's going to be attached to what happens after the confirmation part of your initial vetting process. So after they qualify themselves through an application, and after you end up vetting them on the phone, and after in the initial piece of the sales call, you end up confirming what you vetted. Now we're going to go into what we call plan, prescribe, and close. Okay, this is going to be a brief overview of the collaborative close. You've gotten him here now because you've offered something for free, and now you've got to be able to actually demonstrate you can help them. The best way to start doing this is by asking the right questions. The first question that we got to ask them is, hey, look, how much are you making currently? Okay, so in this example, we're going to be talking to John. John makes $1 million per year, okay, with his business. He ends up, what we want to do next is say, okay, well, how much is that per month? That's about $85,000, give or take a few dollars per month that he's generating in revenue for his business, okay? Now, what we want to do is we want to take John from this place down to right here, which is fully happy, okay? Now, as you can see by the lines of ecstaticness, I don't know if that's a word or not, but he is excited. And the reason why is because he wants to go from 1 million down to 2 million, okay? Or up to 2 million. He wants to be able to get to 2 million. That's his goal. And so what we want to start thinking is, okay, well, what is your current lead process? Okay, you're currently at $1 million a year. You're making $85,000 a month. What's your current lead process? And first and foremost, how many units do you need to have sold? Or how many clients, if you're working with service-based consulting or something like that, or agency work, then you're looking at how many clients or how many units need to be sold to generate that $1 million per year or that $85,000 per month. And so he's going to say, okay, well, I got to sell 100 units per month to generate $85,000, okay? Not too bad. Let's say that this guy's selling carburetors. Be one hell of a carburetor, right? Expensive. But let's pretend that this guy's selling just a physical product as a carburetor. People are buying and he's shipping them and everything's going great, right? Well, from there, then we want to say, okay, well, what is contributing? What else is contributing to the $85,000? Are you selling anything else on the back end? We got to know exactly where his outlets are at. We got to know exactly what is providing this revenue for this business. Okay, where is all of his income streams at? Because if we find that he is not having any backup or any follow-up system to sell stuff, you hear that? That's the sound of opportunity. That is going to be the sound where you get to now write down on paper what it is that you can add, because you know that he is not leveraging a follow-up system to either upsell, cross-sell, bring in referrals, remind people, getting people back in there for other products or services, but he's not utilizing his buyer's list, right? So if he's doing this much per month, he's selling a whole ton of carburetors. Well, what's he doing with that list? They probably know people. They probably have other needs and wants for their car. So he's leaving money on the table. So you can just write up, create follow-up, right? Great way for you to be able to just put that into the back end and say, hey, well, if we did this, what do you think would happen? Okay, so he's looking to sell 100 units, or he's already selling 100 units a month. Let's say that he doesn't have anything in the back end, right? He could say yes, which is great. Write that down, and then let him know how many of those units specifically, if he has, say, a tire that he could, sell with that. And he's like, yeah, this tire comes really in handy when I sell this carburetor, man, it's great. And I say, well, how many of those tires do you need to sell to generate just that $85,000 per month if you just sold the tire? Right, because what we want to do is we want to get him to see that we're not going to do that, of course, but we want to see exactly what are the price differences and how often are people buying it, and we might be able to just double his revenue by, guess what, selling these, say, spare tires, right? So if it takes, say, if he's like, oh, well, it takes 100 spare, or it takes 50 spare tires in order to make $85,000 a month, we could say, okay, wow, so really we don't even have to sell 200 units. We don't have to go from 100 units to 200 units, right? All we have to do is sell an extra 50 spare tires a month, and we've doubled his revenue, which helps him get to his goal. Okay, you see how that works? So if he does have anything contributing on the back end, ask him what would it take for that one product or that one additional service if we sold it completely alone to match your current $85,000 a month. And then you know that, okay, well, you only have to sell that many more to double their revenue. Has nothing to do with anything else, right? Great way to be able to add that to your closing arsenal. Then what we want to do is we want to say, okay, well, talk to me about your website, okay? We know exactly where you're at. We know that you want to be at 2 million. We know you're at 1 million. We know that you're currently selling 100 units a month, and you don't have a back end at all. What about your website? Okay, are you running any ads? Are you doing anything like this? Or tell me about your website. They're going to tell you. They're going to let you know that there's really nothing going on. 95% of the time they have nothing going on. And those are going to be great because, again, you get to add so much value. So you get to ask them, hey, well, what do you think would happen if we ran a couple of ads to the page that offered this? What do you think if we constantly rotated an offer every month or every quarter to test what time of year worked best for the clients that are visiting your page? What do you think would happen if we did X, Y, or Z, right? And they're going to go, oh, I think that would be great. I think that would help out tremendously. I think that would be phenomenal. I think that would turn out, to be very profitable. Whatever it is they're going to say, and then you're just writing these things down. You're going to write them down, write them down, write them down. And so tell them about your stick rate. And they're going to say, oh, well, it's really non-existent. They come by, they pick up one carburetor, and it's really a done deal. Okay, what would happen if you can get them to purchase 3 carburetors in a year? And he'd say, wow, that would triple my business. Okay, so now you don't even have to worry about new customers, and you don't have to worry about the new product. Another way for him to get to $2 million a year is by generating, say, 2 times referral. So if he got the person, instead of to buy once, he got them to just buy a second time in the same year, you're looking at doubling his revenue. How do you do that? Well, we create campaigns for that, right? Or we find the right audience to start filling his pipeline with that will do that, right? Future-proofing his business. Okay, then you got to say traffic. Hey, where's your traffic coming from right now, John? Tell me about the traffic. And they're going to say, well, it's coming right now specifically from maybe some organic search. I get 200 visitors a month, and I get maybe about 20 new sales, or 30 sales, or whatever it is, and the rest is word of mouth through people who come into the shop. And you could say, okay, so if we started leveraging all the social media platforms, maybe some Google and Bing PPC, you think that would help drive some more traffic to your site? Of course it would. Okay, well, what are you converting at right now? Okay, so if we can get your website to convert from 1% to, say, 5%, that would be an increase of 5x right there, and we 5x your traffic. Can you see how fast we can get you to that 200 units there, John? And he'd be like, oh, well, absolutely. Okay, perfect. Now when we get to 200 units, what happens when we add on that spare tire? And then what happens when we do all these other things? Okay, now you can see how not only just getting to the 2 million, now we can surpass that. And over the next 3-4 years of us working together, we can get you up to 4 or 5 million. How's that sound, John? And now he's going to be like, wow, okay, you got him to think long term. You got him to think bigger than what he was most likely thinking about himself. And you showed him the path to do it, whether or not he's giving you money. So that's why I wanted to share this quick video with you today, was when you get to the point of planning, prescribing, and closing, you saw how the end of that is just, hey, look, you know what? Do you think all this is going to help you reach your goal, John? Yes, I do, Brandon. I really do. Perfect. Would you like some help putting it together? That's it. That's all you're going to say. After that, you lock it up. Send over the contract. Send over the invoice. Schedule them for the first session or whatever it is that you're doing. Go meet them in person and start to deliver the goods. Okay, that's how fast and easy this can happen. Okay, you're talking about a 30 to 60 minute call, and you're talking about making sure that you're prescribing the right medication to the right ailment. Okay, so you got to ask the right questions. Okay, so I set you up for that today. Make sure that if you haven't looked through the collaborative close video, go through the collaborative close video. It's going to share with you more about how to actually transition into that close. And if you need a recap on the previous videos, go into I think it's the qualification, how to avoid time vampires, as well as the vetting process in this same module, as well as the qualification or the confirmation process inside this module. Okay, go ahead and check those out if you haven't already. Come back, watch this one again if you need to, and I'll see you on the next training. Take care.